Hi, my name is Kimmy and I'm a fashion major.
My name is Grace Cuniff and I'm a fashion major.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Chetwynd and I'm a fashion major.
Hi, my name is Jesse and I am a fashion major.
My name is Mallory Carlson and I'm a fashion major.
My name is Sam Conley and I'm a fashion major.
Hi, my name is Mary and I'm a fashion major.
Hi, I'm Katie Bardwell and I am a fashion major.
I got into fashion at a young age. I kind of started sewing when I was around 6 years old, but I started making real garments when I was around 10 years old. And I learned how to sew at InStitches, where I had a great teacher, and she taught me the basics of sewing and really got me to like sewing and designing my own clothes.
I got into fashion because my grandmother taught me how to sew in 7th grade, and about a year later she passed away. So I wanted to be able to honor her, and I just really loved to sew, so I contributed with fashion.
How I got into fashion was always just doing arts and crafts as a kid, and then that led on to starting doing projects that just happened to be dresses, and I always started to design when I was younger, but I never knew how to sew. And then I saw that they had a class here when I was in 8th grade, and I was first to sign up for it.
I started getting into fashion at a young age because I really liked how you could express yourself through clothes, and I grew up really artistic, I'd say, and I liked the idea of being creative with what I wore too, and not just creating it through art.
I feel like I always loved fashion when I was little. I would always have these games on my iPad where you could customize your characters, and I just always loved creating your own look.
I started sewing when I was super little, making blankets for dolls out of felt and buttons. When we went into the quarantine and had to be learning remotely, I started picking up a sewing machine again, and given that I finally had the time to devote to something that excited me.
I got into fashion because I loved the idea of creating garments, being able to put what I had in my mind into an actual thing that you could have forever.
I chose fashion because when I was younger, I really wanted to become a fashion designer.
I chose fashion because I knew that Quincy High had a fashion program, and that is exactly why I came to this high school.
I was a transfer student and my cousin was a Fashion 1 student, and I came to the fashion show. I loved everything that I saw in the fashion show and decided when I did transfer here that I was going to go right into the fashion program.
In middle school, I learned how to sew, and I just loved it so much because I loved to be able to make whatever I want whenever I wanted. So when I had to choose my elective for high school, I chose fashion.
I chose fashion because I think during the day it's really difficult to get through all my academics and not have that creative part of my day, just because I believe I'm a really creative person, and that's kind of like my outlet at school, and I just love the environment of the fashion classroom.
When I was coming in freshman year, I didn't know what I wanted to do as an elective, and I was reading the electives and I just saw fashion and I thought it'd be a nice new experience, and I just stuck with it.
I wanted to learn more about how to sew and how to design my own garments.
During my freshman and sophomore years, I was unsure of what elective I wanted to choose. I switched around a couple of times. I didn't know that this class would be such an important part of my life. Choosing this class was the right decision.
My collection and my mood board were inspired by my love for theater and just all of the arts, and I love the idea of combining theater and fashion together because they're my two favorite things.
My inspiration for my collection and mood board was being proud of your sexuality, like gender, identity, body image. And my mood board, if you look at it, it's very chaotic, but if you look at it, it shows the rainbow, and your eyes should follow the rainbow. It shows the constant movement and the whole spectrum of sexuality. And I like the chaotic look of it because it shows that it is never simple. Sexuality and identity, it will always be a full chaotic mess that we always have to live with.
My mood board was based on what I could find in the magazines that I selected, and I kind of just improvised. My collection is a combination of floral and dark and light themes, and is just mostly blue.
My mood boards are actually 4 mood boards. Each one is for the 4 elements that is encompassed in my collection. So I have a mood board for fire, earth, water, and air. And it was just by looking at all the different colors in the magazines and all the different imagery. It really just formed my idea to make a collection with all of the elements.
I wanted my mood board to be a reflection of who I am as a fashion designer. I wanted to put some traits such as cool and stylish, which I really think explains who I am as a fashion designer. I chose to put some images of some fabrics, clothes, and colors that I wanted to use when I make my garments.
My mood board in my collection was inspired by flowers and a floral theme. Before deciding on the theme, I know I wanted something very colorful, and then the flowers was kind of just like a light bulb idea, and I just stuck with it.
Based off the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's, which I love very much. I love Audrey Hepburn and her whole style. I was very adamant about wanting to recreate her garments and putting my own touch on them.
My collection is inspired by Japanese streetwear, which I discovered by way of video games. My mood board helped me to refine my vision for the collection, and definitely seeing the colors and the shapes that existed from references helped me figure out what I wanted to make.
My biggest challenge this year was with one garment in specific, and it was my air garment. Because the fabric I chose wasn't very good for the design that I had in my head. There were a lot of pleats, and it was very stretchy. So honestly, my biggest challenge this year was just trying to figure out how to work with that fabric and how to fold it and pleat it in the correct way. And the way that I overcame it was with the help of Ms. Kaplan. We both worked together to try and find solutions to try and pleat it the right way and really get it to work so that my idea would come true. And with the help of Ms. Kaplan, we did figure out a solution, and I loved how it turned out.
A challenge I dealt with this year, and I have always dealt with, is time management. And I pushed myself a lot this year by doing 5 garments instead of 4, which was the requirement. And I think I handled it very well, and I've been pushing myself as the fashion show comes closer. And I think I managed my time a lot better than I did last year.
My biggest challenge this year was definitely with myself, because I wanted to make this collection represent me and the entire LGBTQ+ community, and I really struggled with wanting to make it perfect, and I just overcame it by just making it myself and just pushing past those thoughts.
Naturally, there were challenges along the way, but I'm happy with the end product.
My biggest challenge this year was making sure everything fit in my models as well as scouting for them. And I was able to overcome them thanks to Ms. Kaplan helping me out every step of the way.
My biggest challenge this year was definitely my purple garment, because I had to layer 4 pieces of fabric over each other and then sew them down. Then that acted like a single layer of fabric, and then just sewing it was way too thick. The needle wouldn't go through it, and it was just a huge struggle, but I got it done.
The most difficult garment in my collection was definitely the leather jacket. I hand embroidered stars and planets onto the back of it, and it took over a month with it working with a difficult fabric. But I pushed through, and I'm so happy with the end result.
A challenge that I had this year was I had to switch models at the beginning of the year. So I started a full garment, but halfway through I had to then cut it in half and change models. Had to scrap that garment, restart it completely, but now it's something that I love with my whole heart, and I'm very happy that I did it.
My plan after high school is to go to a college for art and fashion, and just so I can continue my passion in art and design.
I plan on going to UMass Boston after high school, and I'm going into political science and pre-law.
Next year, I will be attending UMass Boston, and I would potentially be transferring to another college I got accepted to, which was Fashion Institute of Technology.
After high school, I will be attending LIM College while majoring in fashion merchandising.
My plan after high school is attending UMass Amherst to major in economics.
My plans after high school is to definitely go to college, and I would love to pursue fashion.
I'm hoping to go to college for costume design or creative writing.
My plan after high school is to actually attend a fashion college in Paris. My dream school is IFM in Paris, which is l'Institut Français de la Mode. It is one of the top 3 schools in the world. So it's going to be hard, but I would love to get into that school. And if I can't, I will choose another school in Paris and start my fashion career from there.
Enjoy the show!